If your mind feels cluttered, check your phone, check your laptop, check your email. Check that overflowing iCloud storage or Google storage or OneDrive storage. Whatever it is, check it. Sometimes it's not that life is too heavy. It's just the digital baggage. There's a version of you hidden behind all that mess, every outdated file, every unread email, and every forgotten folder. And today, we're letting her breathe. Welcome back to Glam Goal Getter. Here we have goals, we love glam, and we're going to get it all. Last week we covered clearing out your closet of physical items. Today we're taking a different angle. We're going to be focusing on clearing out the intangible things in your life that we carry with us every day, our digital lives. Right now, I'm in the middle of my own reset. I've been working on this for the past 3 months, but as a creator, as just the girl who takes pictures and has a lot of things to do, my digital footprint keeps growing. I have to proactively go back and delete things that I no longer need. And it's not just about deleting old files. It's about creating space mentally, creating that clarity for creative flow, and leaving behind the right digital legacy. Most of the conversation about decluttering does revolve around the physical stuff, whether it be cleaning out your makeup drawer, cleaning out your car, your closet, like I spoke about last week, or your pantry or your home. And all of those things are important. I think they do take up most of the conversation when it comes to decluttering because we see them every single day. And they can be physical barriers that prevent us from moving freely within a space. And it's easy to see that we've wasted our money because it's a clear reminder that you bought this thing 4 years ago and you still haven't used it. But our digital footprint does not get as much conversation, and it exists in two places. First, it exists on our computers and our laptops. It takes up metabytes, gigabytes, and things of that nature. However, it also exists in our mind. Every messy desktop, every overflowing inbox, every random app that just sits there on our phone is taking up space in our brain. It's literally like an unclosed tab on your laptop that just sits there and it requires Wi-Fi or data to keep being used, even though you're not using it. It's taking up storage, and then when your phone says, "Oh, I'm full, I can't take more pictures or videos," you wonder why. By cleaning your digital space, you're signaling to yourself that you value clarity, you're making space for the next chapter in your life, and you're curating a story that you are prepared to leave behind. So you're probably wondering, where do I start? I have 30,000 files, and that's only on my phone. That doesn't include my classwork, my work files. Where do I start? The most important step in this process is consistency. So you want to make sure you have small gains. The way that you do that is by separating everything into categories. Here are a few categories that helped me to declutter digitally. And essentially what I do is I break them into categories, and 1 week I will focus on a certain area. The next week I'll focus on a different area. So this might not be relevant for everybody depending on your age, but we're going to start with class notes. Or it might be documentation for other people as well. Think about it. Do you really need your lecture notes from 2014? Do you? If you are still working in your field or you want to get back into your field, keep it. That's fine. But if you know, that this does not interest you, you're never going to go back to it, I never even open it, you can delete it. The chances are the research has grown on that topic anyways, and you've evolved to learn more about it, so you don't need it on your phone or on your laptop. That being said, if you haven't finished the class yet, please keep your notes. I do not want to be responsible for anybody failing. Next category, USBs and hard drives. USBs and hard drives are a physical item, but they're very helpful for storing stuff. But ask yourself, when is the last time you actually looked at the pictures, videos, and documents on that USB stick? If you haven't done it in a while, this is your week to start. All you have to do is plug it in and see what you have and start from there. Next, we're going to go on to your digital footprint in a more social capacity. Old accounts. If you have multiple Facebook accounts, Finsta accounts, Instagram accounts, emails that you no longer use, delete them. You haven't logged into it for 4 or 5 years and you don't even know what's going on over there. So I suggest you log back in, see what's going on, and if there's no relevant activity to your life of who you are now or who you're becoming, snip, snip, it has to go. Now we're going to talk about a very important one, text messages. I don't know about you, but I text my friends, family, loved ones all day, every day. That includes iMessage, but also it's on WhatsApp, whatever the platform might be. Within 5 minutes, I can send about 10, 20, 30 text messages to different people. A lot of those messages are pictures, videos, gifts, reactions. All of that takes up space in your phone. If you have an iPhone, I believe an Android phone also has this as well. All you have to do is go into your storage section and it will recommend areas within the text message storage that you can delete. You can have this setting, for example, to say delete voicemails after 2 minutes or delete it after a year. I personally have the 1 year option on, and my text messages automatically roll off because my phone storage is limited and I already pay for iCloud and other stuff, and I'm trying to reduce those monthly payments. Another helpful tip is when it comes to WhatsApp specifically, it gives you the option to download photos automatically or download as you request them. I currently only download photos as I request them to save data, but also to save storage space on my phone. The next one is pretty easy and it's your browser history. I think it's helpful to have your cache loaded, your browser history loaded, because as soon as you type in YO, YouTube's going to come up and it knows exactly what you want to see. But it does take up space on your browser, and consider, do you really need that? I personally use bookmarks to save anything I need. I have a lot of bookmarks. And that's another area where I do delete every year or so. I go through them. And if I haven't opened a link in 2 years, it has to go. Now, subscriptions. Subscriptions is largely based on like the financial ones, but we're not talking about today. For the purpose of our conversation, subscriptions are more of like newsletters. They email you once a week, once a month, and sometimes multiple times a day. The companies that email me more than once a week, I notice them often enough and I normally unsubscribe, because you do not need to email me once a week. You and I are not friends, okay? However, the ones that do email me once a month, I am on Maggie Seller's newsletter. I'm also on Jody Tay's newsletter, and those ladies are amazing. So I do read them, so I'm subscribed. But other newsletters I find are not as beneficial to me. They're not as entertaining. They gotta go. This also includes any online stores that try to email me regularly to sell me stuff. They have to go, because if I wanted to, I would. And here you are. I don't like that. You gotta go. This is a big one, probably controversial, your social feed. It doesn't take up storage on your phone per se, but it takes up a lot of mental space. I am not afraid to unfollow someone, even if I've known you for 5, 6 years. If you regularly post stuff that makes me feel bad about myself, or if I have to say, you know what, I don't know if I can open this app in public because I don't know what certain people are going to be posting, they have to go. People like that, sometimes you can just restrict their account so that way you can go to their account when you're ready to see that kind of content. But that is something to really think about. And my social feed is curated for me to help inspire me every single day. I'm very intentional about unfollowing people and following people who post content that aligns with me and helps me along my journey. Cloud storage is a beautiful thing and it can be used to your advantage. However, it is all too easy to turn into your junk drawer. So please be diligent about what you save into the cloud. Once you've done that and you're ready to go a little bit deeper, here are more advanced steps to take if you want to clear up your digital clutter. Take the time to search yourself. You can also set up customizable alerts for your name. So whenever someone searches you, it will pop up and you'll be emailed so you know people are looking into you. When you search yourself, look at what comes up. Is it an article from the school you went to 10 years ago and you had some very interesting opinions at the time, and your thought process and your paradigm has shifted? Then you should reach out to them and request them to take it down because it is harmful to your progression. The best way to clear your digital clutter when it's not in your control is to just email them directly and request it. Otherwise, there is a platform called Delete Me that helps you to delete accounts. I'm not sure how advanced it is, but people talk about it all the time, and I will be giving it a try sometime next year. Now, one thing I really did this year that I recommend is consolidating my storage. I have OneDrive for my job and OneDrive for school. I also had a personal Google Drive, mainly for photos, because I used to have an Android phone and I have iCloud storage. I didn't even realize how many files and folders I had on Google Drive. It took me about 2 weeks to go through and delete old emails, pictures, videos, and things I don't need. Anything I did like, I put it on my handy dandy hard drive. I got this a few months ago and I'm very grateful for it. It connects right into my phone and it connects right to my laptop. So it makes it very easy for me to take a video or a picture on my phone and then edit it on my laptop. Also, beyond that, I don't have to worry about connecting my iPhone to my laptop to get everything or if it's not on the cloud. It's very, very, very helpful because my phone is like 156 gigabytes. And as a creator, it's a terrible decision to do that. However, this helps me. That way, I'm able to cancel my subscriptions for OneDrive, for Google Drive, and all of those things. And now I no longer have those reoccurring long term expenses. And I just made one payment and I'm good to go. Once you've gone through and done all of that and you're considering a new pathway to consolidate your data, think about systems you can have in place to prevent you from getting into the same situation 2 or 3 years from now. For example, for me as a creator, when I'm out, I take a lot of pictures, I take a lot of videos. Usually, as soon as I'm done filming or taking photos, I go in my photos, videos, and I delete the ones that I know I'm not going to use. I delete them. If I don't delete it right when it's fresh in my mind, I tend to forget. And then 3 or 4 weeks go by, and then I have a hard time going back determining, oh, what video was this? What picture was this? What was the purpose? Whereas if I deleted it from the beginning, I would have the mental space and clarity just to do the work, just to edit it, instead of having to look through everything again. Having that steps allows me to gradually and delete content. And I also like the fact that once I delete it, I have 30 days before it is permanently deleted from my phone and my iCloud storage. I also think it's very helpful to color code stuff or put stuff in files. So in my photos, I have like anything I need for content for a specific project, I title it wardrobe closet redo or digital decluttering. So everything is in one space and nothing is left out just floating and fluttering. Everything we create, whether it be a photo or a post, tells a story about who we are and where we are in this moment. Decluttering isn't just about tidying up, it's about curating your legacy. I personally have a history background and I understand the importance of archival work. So when I see creators out here and people are doing all this work thinking about, oh, this is good right now, we have to think about how is this going to age? I put all my videos and photos, anything I post on TikTok or YouTube, and I make sure it's on my physical storage. So that way, 400 years from now, my great, 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 whatever they are, grandkids can look back and say, oh, at this moment in 2025, this is what was happening and this was what she was doing. This is her take on it. And all the metadata is also collected and can be used to create museums, collections, and exhibitions that are relevant to the people. I'm definitely biased, and I feel like history is not spoken about enough. Archival work is imperative to structuring stories, narrative, and power. So take your time. This is a lifetime project and curate your legacy in a way that reflects you. So that way, nobody can say anything about you that doesn't reflect who you actually are. That might be too much to ask, but we can always dream. When I frame the narrative in that way, it is very easy for me to delete photos, documents, and things that don't add up to who I really am. To help you through your process, ask yourself, would you be proud if someone else saw this 10 years from now? Would somebody misinterpret this? Does this really reflect who you are now, who you were, or who you are becoming? Letting go of old files, old social media posts, doesn't erase the memory of it because people will always remember. It just allows you to present yourself and future self without being buried by your past. So here's your challenge and homework for the week. Choose one digital area, whether it be your inbox, a photo gallery, your downloads folder, Whatever it is, just pick it and focus on getting rid of what no longer serves you for this week. And then next week, you go on to the next one. Remember, digital space is also mental space. And the clearer your mind is, the better the creativity will flow. And it will allow you to fully live in your next chapter. If this inspired you to start your own decluttering journey, let me know in the comments. If you're ready for more tips on intentional living and personal growth, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. See you next time.